Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Hookah Anonymous, and you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
We love you, Mickey.
What's up? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka Mickey Facts, and I'm back with another video. Y'all miss me? I know. As always, y'all already know all information contained in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusions that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. So y'all already know 2 months ago I dropped a video on T.I. when he made, or I don't know, did he make the actual clip 2 months ago? Or it started going around the internet, and I spoke on it and gave my opinion. Check it out. I am gonna play a clip of it in a minute. But anyway, so fast forward to now. Boosie said what he said in regards to this story about T.I. putting it on his cousin about a gun charge. Now T.I. is like, no, I'm playing. It was a joke. I'm just trying to spark conversation. Yeah. Right? So, y'all already know, when I get a little itch, I got to scratch it, and I'm going to keep scratching until it get put together. So, I want to first say thank you, T.I., okay? Because those documents that you put on your story was the missing piece to my puzzle. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself because you already know people be lurking. I'm just gonna make this video solely about the case with his cousin. Or was it a case with his cousin? Let's get into some audio and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Have a gun. Why are we going through the court process? And so we caught no gun cases, 2 died. And my lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away if it was Tramel's. After he had passed, I had a talk with him.
What to say?
I take all the charges you got.
Y'all already know I'm a very thorough person, so I'm about to map out some stuff. Okay, so just follow me. Follow me for a second. Now, we just heard from T.I. himself pointing out the situation into what's going on. Now, he comes back later to say, hey, it's a joke. I just want to spark a conversation. Well, Truth Team, we are definitely going to spark a conversation, and we're going to begin with the obvious. That incident that he's referring to is an actual real incident. Why do you say that, Mickey? Well, let's talk about it. In T.I.'s federal documents, and some news people even had it on their websites from back when he called his Fed case, it recalls or it points out a charge that he received in December 2001, okay? Now, it probably didn't mean nothing to nobody at the time because he didn't come out and say this story. Nevertheless, I looked into his arrest record for Fulton County, Atlanta. You can definitely pull it up. It's right there. I couldn't find nothing that came along with this date. So I'm like, what's really going on, right? So I even checked Cobb County because for those who don't know, T.I. actually did time in Cobb County for a charge. So yeah, I'm like really been looking into this since I dropped the last video. Y'all already know that's how I do anyway. All right, back to business. If you look at the documents that T.I. put in his Instagram story, you see the indictment number. Now match it to this clerk's number on this accusation, which is the complaint or, whatever their wording is for when charges are filed. As you can see, it says the state of Georgia versus Alejandro T. Morgan and Douglas Arnell Morgan. Now, back on the Fed document, it says that T.I. used the alias Douglas Morgan. Now, this is where I'm going to plug in some information to try to just paint the picture that I'm looking at. Again, you don't have to go with what I'm saying. You don't even have to believe what I'm saying. Go do your own research if you care to and see where it leads you. So, without further ado, let's get into who is Alejandro T. Morgan.
My cousin too ain't have to die right in front of his son and his wife. He lost his life struggling over a gun. Give a damn what he done. It's my heart, need my foe. Lord shouted to death regardless, no joke. I can feel my eyes feeling the Lord is my witness. If I catch your mama, I'm made it my business.
Now, as y'all heard, T.I. does talk about his cousin Toot, as we heard in the first clip, in the song Live in the Sky, okay? Now, I wanted to take y'all to an article that was on MTV.com, right? And it states this is from 2004 when this interview was done, and T.I. again talks about his cousin Toot, okay? So I'm going to play another clip to the song, and then I'm going to tie in why I'm telling y'all this. Well, again, T.I. has confirmed himself who Alejandro T. Morgan is. It is indeed his cousin Toot, okay? Now, again, that doesn't prove anything other than it is some facts to this joke that he was telling. Now, let's continue. Now that we know that Toot is also Alejandro T. Morgan, then we do know that, in fact, him and T.I., who at the time was using an alias, Douglas Morgan, did catch a case, okay? In this said case, as he have stated in past interviews, it was over by Lenox Mall. They were doing some, illegal stuff. The mall security basically followed them. And then in return, they tried to leave the mall premises, but they called the real police to come get them. Now, how do we know this, you guys? Because T.I. has put it out himself. So far, this is a close to fact story that he's joking about. But again, it doesn't say anything. We're going to continue. So as we already know, Alejandro T. Morgan, or Tremel as T.I. refers to him, or Toot as T.I. refers to him, is deceased, okay? We know that because he has said it. We know now that this name is associated with Toot, who he refers to, because he said it in the song, and we put it together now that he released the paperwork, okay? So, in fact, T.I. was on a case with his deceased cousin, which we know this charge came about in 2001. However, as y'all see here, the paperwork and I guess things didn't start really kicking off in 2002. And all we need to know now is, was Toot deceased at the time that all the paperwork started going through, or was he not? Let's see if we can find out. Do y'all think I got it? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to continue. So according to public records for Fulton County, it does say on December 16th, 2002, there was a plea and arraignment hearing scheduled at 9:30 a.m. In the comment section, it does say no death certificate on Alejandro, not sure of motion filed on Douglas, okay? Now, I guess you can interpret that the way you want to. I take it as, Alejandro case was kind of in the loop-de-loop, because they didn't know for sure if he was deceased because they didn't have the paperwork. However, it was a motion filed on behalf of Douglas Morgan, in this case, T.I. Now, if y'all don't think that's what it is, or that's not your view on it, y'all let me know in the chat. What do you think that means? But we're going to move on. Now, I did find a newspaper clipping of the announcement of Alejandro Tremel Morgan's funeral. And it says it was in April of 2002. So, it was a couple months after they actually caught the charge. However, it was before all of the court's information started going in. So let's see what the resolution of the case is. All right, so the motion filed next on behalf of Douglas Morgan, as we know is T.I., was a motion to exclude or suppress, okay? Basically, everything they found on him, he wanted it thrown out, okay? Said that the officer didn't even do the stop right. Like, all that should be thrown out. Now, it does say at the bottom of the form to suppress that it was granted on behalf of the defendant, which was Douglas Arnell Morgan. Now, it does not say defendants with an S. It only says one. Again, we already know at this point, Toot is deceased. It doesn't go into saying anything about, nothing else, okay? It just says that it's granted on behalf of the defendant, okay? So in my opinion, if it's granted as far as to suppress it, then he wouldn't have to put it on nobody, right? I don't know. Y'all let me know. As far as the outcome of the case, it is listed as dead docket for every charge. And from what Google says, it's basically a dead docket when prosecutors want a case to be postponed indefinitely. It says the case is not dismissed, it's just postponed. So whatever that means, okay? So to sum it up, the situation that T.I. was referring to was actually true. He did catch a gun case in the early 2000s with his cousin named Toot, okay? What's still up the question is if he actually had to put the case on Toot, right? Because like I told y'all, I've looked these names up. No other case in Fulton County is popping up for Alejandro Morgan, Alejandro Tramiel Morgan, none of that, right? So we do know that he did pass away in the process of trying the case. What I can't find is anything stating that it was put directly on Toot, right? I can only tell y'all that his motion to suppress was granted for him. So I don't know how the ins and the outs work, but hey, these are the facts. Conclusions is up to y'all. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Until next time, holla! They mad because I made it out.
I took the hard way. I ain't asking that nigga for nothing. I threw the hard way. Hard way. Hard way. My heart to this day. I'm really with it. My feelings in it. So please, bitch, don't play. I took the hard way. I ain't asking that nigga for nothing. I threw the hard way. Hard way. Hard way, my heart to this day. I'm really with it, my feelings in it, so please, bitch, don't play. Hey.